Spoilers.
If you think Ragnarok had too many not jokes in it, no, there's no spoilers for this. You don't need. This is this is Phase 4 of Marvel.
I really don't know because I was torn on this.
I was worried you would tear your hair out.
I got it cut really.
I was like, Dan's gonna hate this shit.
I got it cut really short right before this, so for that exact reason. Yeah. Now I was sitting in the theater. There were some hard eye rolls. There was some groans and grunts because I find, and I don't care what anyone has to say about it, I find this Mighty Thor thing, the Jane Foster Thor thing, to be ridiculous. The dude's name is Thor. It's not a fucking moniker. It's not Captain America. It's where when you give Captain Falcon the shield, it's like, oh, you can be Captain America now that Steve Rogers retired. No. I mean, that sucks too, let's be honest, but at least there's a reason for it.
Yeah, it'd be like if someone got my microphone. Yes, you can. I mean, it's one thing if they use it to record a podcast, but they don't then become Jeremy.
Right. It's unreal.
Oh, and you guys should look at my my girlfriend's podcast, Jeremy Jennifer Jones. Media Girls Online.
Yeah.
It's better than our podcast.
Oh no, but they call the Valkyrie King in this one, so they could just be media men. That's fine. It's stupid. Does anyone want to see Jane Foster as Thor? No.
If she had used the hammer because of cancer and what he said to Mjolnir, protect her, and then she's flying around, that wouldn't bother me. But when they said, "Oh, hey, it's me, also Thor," I'm like, "Wait, yes. But that's his name."
Yeah,
that's.
There's another character in the comic books called Beta Ray Bill, and at one point he takes the place of Thor in the comic books and can wield the hammer. He's actually one of the ones to use Stormbreaker, which is Thor's axe one in this movie. But they don't call him Thor. He's just Beta Ray Bill. He's like a horse demon from another planet. But Google him when you get a chance.
I'm still stuck on this. Remember that time when Supergirl was named Kal-El?
Yeah. It's
also
so
her name
stupid.
was Clark.
Don't get me wrong. I have an issue with these generic knockoff characters anyways. Supergirl, stupid.
It's not. This isn't a new thing. They were doing this shit in the 40s, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and it sucks every time. And
it was dumb then. It's dumb now. If you want a female superhero, then just write a female superhero. There's no men. There's no group of men being you know what we need? A Wonder Man.
Yeah, there actually is one, but yeah.
My favorite superhero is Catboy. It's the boy version of the girl version of Batman. It is Catboy. Yeah, I'm also named Selena or whatever because Selena's a title.
And it's the same thing with the Falcon. As a kid, I love the Falcon character, but as Captain America, he sucks. It's the same in the early to mid 2000s. Bucky Barnes, who's the Winter Soldier, was Captain America for a little while. It sucked. Nobody cares. Bring Steve Rogers back. I know they have to mix it up because it's 100 years worth of comics, but
if they want a shield throwing guy, they just then Bucky can be Major America or something.
He could just be the Winter Soldier with Captain America's shield.
Or Sam could be Captain Falcon. I don't know.
That's already taken.
I don't know. Well, I mean, moving the title of Captain America isn't the problem I had with that show. My problem with that show was that it was boring.
Yeah, it sucked.
And it was really preachy. I'm excuse me? I'm trying to watch a TV show here.
Yep. They'll never get it.
If I need political insight, I'll talk to someone that I trust, not whoever wrote this. I don't even read. I don't even watch the credits when there's another scene coming. I'm certainly not reading them to see oh, is this a person with a good insight into the no.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
I mean, shows having a moral or a message X-Men is obviously a pretty heavy-handed political commentary.
Yeah.
But it's a good show first.
All right, so Thor: Love and Thunder, Thor 4, whatever you want to call it. In the reveal,
Thor for Ragnarok. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the first Thor movie. So I think I'm the only person in the world who liked the first Thor movie more than Ragnarok.
Nope. I'm there with you.
Ragnarok was okay, but like it was a little too silly.
Yes.
If you want to make a funny movie, then like don't have the world in the balance too. Like Guardians of the Galaxy 1 did it well. So I guess I take that back a little bit. You can be funny and have the world in the balance, but it's a tightrope to walk.
Yep.
And it's so hard to do. They couldn't do it in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. That movie sucked.
100%. And I am right there with you with Thor 1 being better.
And the more they try to do it, the less I like it. If they do it well, if they were doing it well every time, maybe I'd be like, this is the formula for a superhero movie.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think the level of humor you should have in a superhero movie is Iron Man level of humor. You know, you say something snarky, you don't stop the movie for a minute to watch someone become a face. Does that make sense? Like, if you can say something funny or have Stan Lee say something funny in the side, a comic relief character, but you can't have 59 comic relief characters and Jodie Foster, who's the most serious character to ever grace the big screen while wearing a cape.
In this movie, you brought up Guardians of the Galaxy 2 had a lot in common with the jump from Ragnarok to this as 1 to 2. One of the things that stuck out to me the most is Korg in the first one, the rock guy. He was funny, but he was benign, right? He was in it briefly, and he cracked a couple of jokes, but it didn't seem
he also he cracked a couple of jokes while he was providing narrative.
Yes.
Instead of like having in 2737, Jeff Goldblum found a candy cane that gave him a planet. No, it's just Korg explaining it in a funny way. In this one, they cut off the narrator for Korg to go, "Hey guys, I'm gay."
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Didn't know that, Korg. Thanks for the update.
I'm like, I didn't even know Korg had a penis.
Right.
Or I guess no, cut that out. I don't care.
Would you say he's rock hard? Oh, sorry about that. But the point was, so Korg was brief and funny in the first one, and he wasn't annoying. In this one, he's everywhere. He does the introductory summary. Mm-hmm. He does the fucking there's points where you said they completely stopped the movie to tell a joke.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh shit, Korg's dead because he's really annoying now. No, he's just the same thing as the character I was going to portray him with, which is Groot. Groot was great in Guardians 1 and just obnoxious in Guardians 2.
Oh my god. Yeah, that is.
They had an entire fight scene with a space monster. The Guardians did while Baby Groot was dancing and the camera focused on Groot. It's like, what are we doing?
If you're not attached to the universe, it would probably be an enjoyable movie because the funny parts are funny. The Thor love and blunder is funny. Yeah. It is, like when I was watching it, I was mad, but I was also laughing at the jokes. The jokes were funny jokes.
Yeah.
This was not a rock movie in that no one was laughing. That I was staring at it blankly waiting for the joke to end. It was funny. But then when it stopped being funny and they wanted me to care about the shadow monster that was killing all the gods, well, now I'm like, wait, so okay, now we're being serious. Oh no, we're being funny again. And which is a shame because I thought the villain was had like really cool powers, and I liked the mystique. It was real edgy.
Yeah.
But like when you're, when you start like killing minor gods, I'm like, yeah, okay, you get to be a little edgy there. I thought the best part of the movie was where he was styling everybody coming out of the shadows and stuff. I'm like, oh shit. And I was really optimistic. I was like, okay, yeah, we got through the first act, we had the funny parts, and now we're gonna have like a really good Marvel movie. And then no, we're going from that back to Korg and and like emotional support children care.
My name's Korg, made of rocks, kind of like the leader in here. It's like, that's the Korg I want, not oh, did you know my dad's gay? It's like, wait, I don't care. You're a fucking rock monster. Get the fuck out of here. A little bit of backstory on Gore, which is the villain in this movie. In the comic books, it's kind of similar that they give him a sword, but in the comics he gets a so like the Venom symbiote?
Yeah.
There's a god that created all of the symbiotes where Venom comes from. That is the god that bonds with Gore. It's powered by the blood of the gods. So each time he kills a god, his power increases.
That's way better than Angry Sword.
Yeah. And you know what kind of sucks is, do you remember at the end, I don't know if you stayed after the credit scene for Spider-Man 3.
I mean, I do watch the credit scenes on YouTube later if you tell me to watch one.
Okay, so the Spider-Man post-credit scene, Venom leaves a piece of the symbiote in the Marvel Cinematic Universe when he goes back to the Sony one.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been, it would have been so much cooler if a piece of Venom broke off and attached with Gore. But no, they couldn't do anything cool like that, because
and
then
you
it would
could bring
make
back, and you could like bring Venom's voice actor in there. That would have been awesome. And then Venom, so he would be like in Venom form, going in and out of shadows.
And then each time he killed a god, the Venom thing would mutate and maybe become that god.
Yeah,
Null it's called, but whatever.
I think if the villain had been less good, I would have enjoyed the movie more, because I would have just relaxed and watched the funny part. But I'm thinking like, well, now I don't get to see an awesome movie. Like, I don't want to see a Thor movie. What I want to see, I don't know, like an Aslanti movie that also contains Thor, but like the main character is this guy. That would have been an awesome movie. Like, you just shift the focus a bit and just focus on like the villain who's like going around and like overcoming insane odds to like murder gods. And like, you can start off rooting for him because he's killing gods that you don't like, and then like have him like the curse takes him over, and then he slowly becomes less likable, because he like, at first he's like helping people because he's like, oh, I'll save you from your terrible god. And then he's like, oh, but also this god's like kind of in the middle, so like fuck him and fuck you too. And then he's kidnapping kids at the end. That would have been a really good twist. That's what they should have done for the end of Game of Thrones. Yeah, so like, there's a lot of wasted potential here, but it's it's funny too. Yeah, like if they have some really funny stuff. Like, Thor flies around on his weapon like it's a witch's broom. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah,
I was like, oh man, that's a really funny gag, because like the hammer can fly, so why doesn't he just like sit on it and like, or ride it around like a Segway?
Yeah, or a skateboard or whatever.
Yeah. What do they call those things? Like the ones that like you roll back and forwards? Hoverboard.
Oh, that are just feet for your feet, right?
Yeah. He should have used the hammer thing like a hoverboard for a while. That would have been great in like 2012, which is where I am mentally stuck forever, as you know.
Yeah. In this movie, if they would have stowed the Jane Foster bullshit, Jane Foster, is that her name? I don't know why my mind just went blank. If they would have stowed the Jane Foster bullshit and just made this a horror movie where this dude is literally going around slaughtering all the gods, because he kills an indeterminate number of gods on his way to the end of the universe so he can make a wish.
It's all off screen, by the way. Like,
every single god is off screen except the first one he kills.
This is like the Moon Rider bullshit where like, oh, that's so cool that I wish I could have seen it. It's just all like, this movie's all hand job, but like they're padding too hard so your balls hurt.
Yeah. Yep. Christian Bale was really good, and if it would have just been like just straight horror, like, I'm good with that. That'd be a cool fucking movie, but whatever.
Like Spider-Man 3, but not cringy. I don't know how else to put it. Like,
yeah. They do a pretty disrespectful thing in this movie, like when Korg in the beginning is describing the whole situation. And as the Warriors 3, except for Sif, oh no, it's Lady Sif in the Warriors 3. So as the Warriors 3 are being murdered, they're just calling him and that guy and that guy. Like, you can't even give him a little bit of, they were awesome fucking heroes in the first one, but yeah, fuck them.
Listen, right? We don't like them. This is Jodie Foster's movie.
Yeah. Volstagg, Heimdall, or not Heimdall, Volstagg, Hogan, and Fandral. Those are the Warriors 3. I wanted to actually give them a proper farewell before, I was really annoyed by that, and that was right off the jump. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I mean,
Can't
I
even
think
say their name.
I think it fits. I think they suffered less than like the character of Thor did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I don't dislike Jodie Foster. She was amazing in Thor 1.
Yeah.
I think we can, and like, but I didn't watch that movie going, you know what she really needed? To fly around with a hammer and a cape. Did you like the scene where like all the kids got Thor powers and then ran around like munchkins?
I was trying to determine which was cringier, that or the chase scene in Obi-Wan episode 1. Because he also goes, I'm going to temporarily give you the power of Thor. However, I don't think he did.
If Thor can do that, why didn't he do that for like the end of Endgame? That would have been really helpful if everyone could do that.
Yeah, if you gave Captain America Thor powers, I don't know, maybe half the people don't get snapped away. We're not in this fucking situation.
Can you imagine Hulk with Thor powers?
Oh shit.
That's the scene we need, but like, no, it's a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Did you know that those kids are also named Thor now?
Jesus Christ, there's 50 of them.
I'm pretty sure Ragnarok talked about like Korg's mom, now that I think about it.
Did it? I have no idea. Maybe his mom is his dead.
Yeah, in the movie, that was, again, better than this one, Ragnarok, Korg explicitly talks about his mom and her boyfriend.
He does.
I knew that was bothering me for some other reason. I was like,
it's my stepdad because I hate him. 100%.
Yep.
Fucking piece of shit. Fuck you, Disney. I'm glad I didn't buy a ticket to this movie. I'm just gonna say it. I bought a ticket to Top Gun and walked over to this movie because fuck Disney. There, I said it. And each time we do these, I'm gonna do the same thing.
Do they know, like, if you don't use your ticket? Because like a couple times, like there's been such a line to go and get the thing scanned that like I have the ticket, but I just walk in there without having it scanned. I'm not standing in a line and missing the movie because you don't have a person that can handle the online only thing that you've incentivized.
I'm not sure. I would think that it would still count as long as you purchased it on the app or whatever.
If I ever get tired of it and decide I don't want to use the service anymore, I'll start intentionally not scanning it to see if they ever catch on.
Yeah. One thing I'll give a thumbs up to this movie for is the soundtrack, because they have at least 3 Guns N' Roses songs. They play, what's that song by, not Missy Elliott, Mary J. Blige?
Yeah.
They play that song, pretty good. The chick with the huge rack makes a return from Thor 1. She's like in stuff, but all I remember her for is her monstrous cans. My main note in all caps about this movie is that the entire thing is fucking done in front of a green screen. There is nothing except when they're in the little village that is done like out in real life. The whole thing, every single aspect of it is a green screen, and some of it looks real bad.
I didn't notice that, but then again, like I try to not worry about CGI because you start watching that stuff and then it's just suffering.
Yeah.
But like every now and then I'll watch RoboCop and realize what was.
If 5 years ago a monster demon alien guy from the moon of Saturn called Titan gathered a bunch of stones, attached them to a gauntlet, snapped his finger, wiped out half the population of the universe. For 5 years, half of your friends and family were gone. Would you then erect a ice cream stand in that memory? There was a fucking Infinity Gauntlet ice cream stand at the beginning of this.
See, I thought you were going the different direction on that. I thought you would point out that all those gods knew about the wishing well and would have done something about the snap.
Oh shit, yeah.
Because like,
give a fuck.
Aren't half the gods gone?
Yeah, you'd think. Yeah.
Surely one of the gods, like either Zeus is there, and he's like he knows about the thing, and one of his like toadies is missing.
Yeah.
Or he's not there, and someone knows about it and misses Zeus.
Yeah. Or they're like, whoever it is, whoever's next in line, Hercules or whatever, is like, any of you fuckers go there, I'm killing you because I'm in control now.
Okay, but like you can wish for anything. So like, they could wish to have the Infinity Gauntlet. Now Hercules is weaker than them, And the snap's been undone.
There's a cool fight. I think you mentioned it briefly earlier of Gore versus Thor. This is when we first meet Jane Foster wielding Mjolnir. So Jane Foster's dying of cancer. And there was an article, I got to look it up and see who it was by, but of people saying that there needs to be a trigger warning at the beginning of this movie for people who are sensitive to cancer.
Well, if you're sensitive to cancer, you shouldn't be watching Phase 4 Marvel movies.
Yeah. Fair point. In the comic books, her wielding Mjolnir briefly, because they, reversed it, because why wouldn't you? It cures her. But in this movie, spoilers, well, we're skipping spoilers, right?
Yeah.
She dies at the end of cancer because the hammer doesn't protect her. The reason she's able to wield the hammer is because Thor kind of whispers to it. There's a montage of, we're dating, now we hate each other situation, which was pretty boring.
So can anyone who has the hammer, like, make it do stuff later? Like the first movie is based on Odin, like, saying, hey, don't let my idiot son use this until he's, like, worthy or whatever. And now, like, Thor accidentally gave away his first name, and also his and also a very gaudy version of his armor. Yep. Her armor was slightly Wonder Woman 1984-esque.
Yeah. Jesus
also
Christ.
another banger of a movie with absolutely no pacing or extra characters in it. Like, I mean, I kind of feel bad for him. Like, the guy, like, identity thefted himself. Now when he goes when he logs into Gmail, when he goes on YouTube, he sees her recommendations. They both have Thor's YouTube account.
So Gore comes to New Asgard, which is stupid because it's just, there's a big fight. It was cool. They fight in the darkness, and Gore can control these, like, dark monsters and everything from the shadows. He ends up stealing a bunch of the kids, right? He captures a bunch of them to take them to center of the earth, center of the universe.
A place where everything's in black and white for reasons.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool, but we'll get to that. He stole a bunch of kids, and all of these kids aren't, like, gods of Asgard. They're just people who live in this little, like, hamlet. So
I thought that, like, Asgardians was a race, and so, like, they would also have, like, Asgard powers, like, all of them.
Oh no. So I mean, Asgardians are a race, but these kids are just, they said it's a tourist destination. These kids just live there. Like Heimdall, the kid that was, like, has the glowing eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He is the son of a god, but none of these other people are. They're just kids that live there.
Asgard, like, so Thor 1, all those Asgardians are not gods? I thought they were gods.
They are, yeah. But in Ragnarok, they destroy Asgard.
And so all those people aren't gods anymore because Asgard is destroyed? Now they're humans? Did they get humanified?
I thought these were people that just moved there. I didn't think there was any connection between Asgard and these people except the lady there, Valkyrie.
No, I thought the kids were Asgardians the whole time.
Oh. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I'm not rewatching it to find out.
No. Who cares?
So that's one item we have not spoiled for you. Where the kids? Who is your daddy and what does he do?
So there's a pretty cool fight scene with Thor and Gore. And Jane Foster shows up. She's wielding Mjolnir. It's pieced itself together, but hasn't, like, sealed itself.
Mm-hmm.
So it has this thing where she throws it and it'll, like, splinter off and can hit multiple targets. So I get that she, yeah, that was cool. I get that she has the power of Thor, but how does she have, like, his skills as well? Like, she's swinging the hammer around like he is, like, at Mach speed, and it's like, okay, whatever.
Actually, the first movie was wrong. Just like Korn didn't have a mom and a stepdad. Also, the first movie, Thor wasn't like a child soldier who trained. Yeah. It was actually just some dude who found a magic hammer and became Thor. It's like when you pick up a video game, you now have the X button to dash.
Yes.
He didn't learn that stuff. It's just part of his powers.
So the idea is that they have to track Gore down before he can make it to the edge of the universe and make a wish. So there's one point right after they realize the kids have been gone. Jane is gone for like 2 seconds, and she's like, "Oh, I flew around the world twice. I don't see anything." Did you fly in a straight line along the equator, or?
Yeah, it's a sphere.
Right. There is a love triangle in this movie, and it's between Thor and his two hammers, and then additionally Zeus's lightning bolt, because he's like, "Oh, it's my ex," and his hammer starts getting mad at him. I thought that was going to be the Love and Thunder bit, but the reveal of why it's called Love and Thunder is so fucking cringy.
Is it because they use the power of love, and also everyone has lightning powers?
Yes.
Okay.
But they didn't have Thor's lightning powers. They had Zeus's, because all of their powers were orange and Thor's is blue.
So hear me out. The fight scene should have had Jodie Foster knocked unconscious, and then like Korg's his face just like deep throats the handle of Mjolnir and flies around, hitting stuff. Like he can also spin it around.
Yeah, I'm into that.
And then he just turns into the giant face from Star Fox 64.
Or Legends of the Hidden Temple. Either way.
Just like shooting Mjolnir sparks at him, at the bad guy.
Thor's plan is to go to the Hall of the Gods, or the City of the Gods, and visit Zeus. And Jane Foster's like, "Zeus? The Zeus?" Like, she's shocked that Zeus exists after she spent like half of her life with gods of Asgard. We meet Zeus, and it's played by Russell Crowe. What was his accent supposed to be? New York City cab driver, or?
No, that is how Greek gods talked.
I see. His lightning bolt looks like shit. I thought it looked really stupid, but they snuck into the City of the Gods. I don't know why, because, you should at least get a +1 if you're a god attending the city. The plan is to recruit an army to go fight Gore, and none of the gods will do it. Zeus is being a real dick. Speaking of dicks, so Thor's standing on the stage, and Zeus tries to like remove his robe to reveal his regular clothes, but accidentally removes all of his clothes. And the 4 women, now mind you, these 4 women are around gods all the time. They themselves might be goddesses. All pass out when they see Thor naked. So his dick is so magnificent that 4 women whose entire lives have been spent with the gods couldn't handle it. Just keep that in mind. I don't know why you would keep it in mind, but he doesn't need Mjolnir when he's got that thing flopping around, does he?
Yeah, they didn't like do it the other way around. Like, they didn't do that to Jodie Foster and have like a bunch of dude gods pass out, even though she's also Thor.
Right. And hot.
Or like maybe they could have had one chick pass out.
Yeah, a bunch of dudes just jacking it. No. So okay, I'm back.
Okay.
So since Zeus won't join, it's time to steal the Thunderbolt. Zeus is being a real dick, as I say. He kills Korg. Seemingly kills Korg, and then throws the lightning bolt at Thor, who catches it and proceeds to kill Zeus. Thor kills Zeus, yeah. I thought there is no fucking way on this planet that Zeus is actually dead, because there's never any consequences for any of these movies. But yeah, he actually killed Zeus. Zeus died.
So maybe he'll just be back in the next movie.
They steal the lightning bolt and head out. So one more callback to the comic books. In the final fight, now I implore you to go out and read this. So it's from the Thor God of Thunder 2012. It's issues 1 through, I want to say 8. I'm going to double check here really quick. 1 through 12. God of Thunder 2012, issues 1 through 12, is the God Butcher and the God Bomb, which is the Gore story. In the final fight of that series, 3 gods fight Gore. It's past Thor, before he's able to wield Mjolnir, present Thor, and future Thor, who just basically looks like Odin, who go to fight him. Because in the story, I forget how they reverse it at this point, because they reverse everything in comic books. They do shit just to be able to reverse it by some other writer 5 years later. Gore has killed every single god in existence except for Thor in this story. That's kind of what they're replicating here, but with, Jane Foster and Valkyrie.
They replaced all of that with a bunch of hijinks
Yeah.
and turned that into a 15-second summary from Korg.
Pretty much. As you mentioned earlier, there's a grayscale Sin City type battle where it's just all black and white except for the colors of Thor.
And then we have child soldiers, which apparently it's fine when Thor does it, but not fine when Coney did it in 2012.
And this fight scene is so cringy. Thor passes his powers along, and it's just, there's a girl who's floating and using her teddy bear to blast laser beams out of her eyes. So
yeah, if Thor could do this, why didn't he do that during like Infinity Wars?
Infinity War, yeah.
Yeah. The very last Avengers movie, hopefully.
It would have been the second to last, because Endgame wouldn't have happened if he actually, imbued his powers on his buddies there. So,
or I guess because once Mjolnir was broken, maybe he couldn't do it at all because he didn't have a weapon.
Right.
So like the rest of Infinity Wars gets a pass, but then at Endgame, like he should have done that, because then like that big last battle, like imagine like in that battle if the Hulk had Thor's powers. It would be pretty useful.
Yeah.
Or if literally everyone there had Thor powers except for Captain Marvel, because she already has Thor powers.
Yeah, right.
She could have double Thor powers.
No, she could have put her powers into
given
Thor.
Everyone Captain Marvel powers.
Yeah. But at the end of Infinity War, when Thor actually has Stormbreaker and shows up with Groot and Rocket and all that, he could have given it to Black Panther and Captain America right there.
Mm-hmm.
But no, this is just new shit to make it stupid, because this shit was so cringy. Jane Foster dies because she loses Mjolnir. She sends it out to break, I almost called him Necron, to break Gore's sword to release his powers and basically kill him. She dies of cancer, like right there.
Yeah. How does she lose Mjolnir though? Like, wouldn't it just come back to her? Because the hammer was already broken. Like, did it double break Mjolnir?
I don't know, but Thor's holding it at the end, so it didn't break. So she just didn't have the energy, I guess, to summon it anymore.
I guess like the canon would be cancer and the hammer are killing her, so that was her last gasp, and now she can't like wield it anymore, maybe.
So she dies and Gore dies, but before he finally gets his wish to bring his daughter back to life. So the irony of this whole thing is he hates the gods so much enough to commit genocide on them. But I guess at the end of the day, I'll leave my kid with one.
Yeah, it's a really, really fast shift from all gods must die to you seem like a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
Thor 2.
Yep.
It's a shame Thor 1's dying. She would have been a good mom.
Wait, Jane Foster's Thor 1?
Yeah, you want her to take second billing to him?
Oh, yeah, that's sexist. Sorry.
Her name is in the movie. Jesus.
That's true. All that being said, I did not like this movie.
I couldn't tell. I thought you were going to be like, damn. So what are you giving this, like a 9.5 out of 10?
Yeah, definitely. It was between this and Top Gun, my favorite movies of the year.
Yeah, you had to take off a half point because there wasn't enough Korg in it.
Yeah. And the fact that Chris Hemsworth survived and Jane Foster died, she should have taken all of his powers and given him the cancer. So, that would have been the best ending. Jesus Christ.
So, I mean, it's hard to judge this movie because, like, they were trying to make a funny movie that had Chris Hemsworth in it, and they did make a funny movie with Chris Hemsworth in it. So, if that's your thing, like that's the movie you can go and see right now, or you could go rewatch Ragnarok again. Your choice. In terms of like a Captain Thor movie, it's not really very good.
No,
but like it is funny, and it does have like one or two fun action scenes. I enjoyed the little kid. I enjoyed the child soldier scene. I thought that was pretty fun to watch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it has some weird implications for like PTSD and whatnot. Like there's a children fighting giant bugs, and apparently they're just kids. And I thought they were Asgardians, so it was fine. Is that like those kids like had like training and stuff? I don't know, but yeah. So like it had its ups points. I'd probably give this like I don't know, a 6 out of 10 maybe.
My pros are Chris Hemsworth. He's Thor. Like he's so good in this role. I mean, it's a very basic thing to say, but I love this guy as Thor. He's got the charisma, even though they kind of make him a little bit of an idiot, but you've come to expect it. But Chris Hemsworth is great. Christian Bale is great. A couple of the fight scenes, that chromatic fight especially, I thought was extremely atmospheric, and I really enjoyed it. And then Jane Foster dying was my other pro. But the rest of the movie, I chuckled a couple times, but there was a couple people in the theater. I sent you the screenshot that it was basically empty, but by the time I got there was like 6 or 7 people. They were like gut busting. I tried to say it slowly so I could get it right, and it didn't work. They were gut busting. Butt gusting is a completely different thing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the theater was as busy as I've ever seen it when I went.
Thinking back, does Spider-Man count as the MCU? It probably does, right?
I mean, he's an Avenger, so it'd be weird if it didn't.
Well, it's because he's owned by Sony. So is it an MCU movie? Is it a Sony movie? So aside from Spider-Man, this was the most entertaining Phase 4 movie, which is not saying much at all because, I think back to how much I hated Shang-Chi and Black Widow. And if I could rescore those, which I can't because I already did it, I'm going to give this, all right, I'll give it a 5.1. That 0.1 is for Chris Hemsworth. Are we going to get another one of these? Probably. Is Jane Foster going to be in it? Hopefully not. And it was really weird CGI they did with her body because they make her like 6 inches taller when she transforms and try to give her muscles, but it just looks really weird.
Maybe that's what was throwing me off on that costume thing.
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing just like thinking of the weird suit that Wonder Woman gets in 1984. And I'm just like, what is it with the costumes? And
oh, the gold one you're talking about. That ridiculous shit.
The shield thing, like the cylinder of imperviousness.
Yeah, I know we're so interested in CGI these days, but I think what they needed to do with Jane Foster, if she needs to be 6'2" or whatever, get a WNBA player and superimpose her face on the body. I don't know. I just think it would have been better.
That sounds really questionable.
Yeah.
Maybe just go full Spider-Man and like have her become like a lightning being or something if you're gonna do that.
Oh, God.
Like have her turn into like a hammer with tits. That'll work.
Oh, what if she's the lightning that he shoots out? No. There you go. Solved. 96,000 ratings, 96,000 plus ratings on IMDb for a 6.9 out of 10 because, 2 Thors getting down, 6.9, right?
Yeah.
And as of today, so today is July 16th. So as of July 15th, which is what they've accumulated all the numbers, and this is via thenumbers.com, domestic box office, 187 million. International, 214 million, for a worldwide box office total of $401,947,324. So,
what was the budget on it? It was. I mean, it doesn't have as many showings, but like, it was as crowded as like the Top Gun show. It was more crowded than Top Gun I went to.
Damn.
And I saw both of them on a pretty, well, not when they came out, but like on a busy-ish day.
$250 million budget.
Okay, so they made their money back and then some.
Yeah, it'll probably be 600-700 million by the time it's done. So, because we're only week 2, right?